AVA is extremely configurable, but to prevent random changes in setup, modifying setup is limited to users with web supervisor privileges. This tutorial is going to show you how to configure the archive or status names in setup. During the life cycle of an employee or customer, they will possibly progress from an initial contact, then may become active on the system for booking purposes, and finally, when no longer appropriate, to storage status where they do not cause clutter, but still can be located for historical reasons. In this tutorial, for simplicity, each of these sections is referred to as an archive, even though more common use of the word implies some historical connotation. To change the setup, we first log in as someone with web supervisor privileges. As a web supervisor, on the Web Manager's menu, you can see and select Setup. The first setup page is a search page that allows you to enter in any word that represents what you want to set up. In this case, we shall look for archive names. Typing in archive gives us just one entry, which is for select archive or status names. Clicking on this opens the Setup Archive page. For each archive, there is a drop-down list, allowing you to choose a name from the options AVA provides. The reason why we limit the names is because the various archives have special meanings. For example, the archive labelled normal or active, etc., is the archive from which you can make bookings. For contact management purposes, the various employees, customers and departments, sites and locations are split into one of a number of archives. These archives may be thought of as different filing cabinets where you may collect your contacts so they can be grouped for CRM, recruitment, or other purposes, which is appropriate to both customers and employees. Before someone goes live on the system, you can have a pre-initial archive or an initial archive. A pre-initial archive might be that you have a contact number or name or email address for them. An initial archive, which is a stage further on, is that you are actively processing their application, or in the case of a customer, you've contacted them and had a sales meet, and you are now setting them up on the system with their rate cards as agreed. Once they have been processed, they go to a live situation. This could also be called active, current, or normal. Once somebody has worked, they may, for whatever reason, be marked as temporarily unavailable. For example, somebody on maternity leave or someone who is ill for an extended period, and you need to take them off the books for this time period. Or they might be a customer whose invoice payments may be in question, so we might want to pause new bookings for them for a period of time. You've then got the more usual use of the word archive, which is a place where data is stored. This can be called archive, historic, left, leaver, or old. Then we have do not use. This could apply either to customers who have particularly bad credit rating or to employees who you would want to trip an alarm if they applied again. Finally, when you add an employee to the system, you can determine whether they go into prospect, interviewed, or directly onto live. Normally they would go into prospect on the first entry. Once you've decided the exact words that you want to use as archive names, you can click on Save Changes. So we have explained what the various archive names mean and how to customize and save them in Setup.